Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Ye will face with them to the Qibla. So from amongst the adab and the etiquette of Azaan and Iqamat is that you must face the Qibla. If you don't face the Qibla, you're facing some other direction. It doesn't mean the Sunnah will not be done. It will be done, but not in the most complete form. So from amongst the adab and the etiquette is you must face the Qibla. وَيَسْتَقْبِلُوا بِهِمَا الْقِبْلَةَ. Carry on. Right. Why? The logic, the dalil naqli proof is that لأن النازل من السماء أذن مستقبل القبلة القبلة, because the angel, or angel not mentioned there, but the one who came down from the skies, أذن, he gave azan, then مستقبل القبلة, that's a hal, ne? It's a hal. He gave azan in the condition that he was facing the qibla. I mentioned to you before, many a times the ismul fa'il, especially when it comes on the Sulati Mazid, it comes in the meaning of a fail. That's why the noun after it will be a maf'ul, right? لأن النازل من السماء أذن مستقبل القبلة, right? Right. So, walau tarakal istiqbal, if a person did not do this, like I mentioned, with regards to all other adab, etiquette, if you leave it out, it doesn't mean the action is not done. So, if a person made azan and he wasn't facing the qibla, etc., then we won't say that azan is not done or the sunnat is not done. It is done, right? But when you leave out adab, you leave out um, uh, etiquette, it's a decrease in the reward, right? That's what it means, right? Carry on. Yeah. So why would we say that, look here, it is done in an efficient manner, but it's still done? Why it's still done? Because the main purpose was obtained, and that was to achieve, that was to call people towards the salah. So that has been achieved. So we'll say, in that sense, the purpose has been achieved, right? That you have called the people to salah, right? But وَيُكْرَهُ لِمُخَالَفَةِ السُنَّةِ, but it's inappropriate, it's makruh, because you're not doing it in the manner which the sunnah prescribe you to do it. We should try to do it in the manner which the sunnah told us to do it, right? Yeah. وَيُحَوِّلُ, then they're saying here, when you come to, this is also, it's called in Arabic, the hayya ala tayn. When you come to hayya ala salah, hayya ala salah, hayya ala falah, hayya ala falah, you will turn towards the right, and hayya ala falah, you will turn towards the left, right? وَيُحَوِّلُ, he will turn, he will face وجهه, his face, للصلاة, for salat means hayya ala salah, والفلاح in falah, yumnatan, towards the right first, and then yusratan, to the left, which is obviously ayal falah, right? Right. So the main reason is because this is proven from the sunnah. The angel done it like that. But the logical reason is, when he's saying hayya ala salah, hayya ala salah, hayya al falah, hayya al falah, what is he doing? He is addressing the qawm, is addressing the nation, come to salah, come to success. So obviously he's addressing the qawm, he's addressing the Muslim ummah, he's addressing the mujtama. Then obviously it makes sense that he must face them when he's addressing them, right? Makes sense, he must face them. لأنه خطاب للقوم فيواجههم, so you will face them, right? Yeah, that's istaf'ala, is that is a hamzatul wasl, ne? So it must wa in istadara. Remember, all your af'al are hamzatul wasl. Only the af'ala you use here is not adkhala yudkhilu akrama. Other than that, all the af'al that begin with the hamza is hamza wasl. So wa in istadara fi sawma'atihi fahasanun. So if he turns in his, you can say minarat, fahasanun, then it's good. What is saying there in that? Okay, read the whole thing. Okay, let me explain first. They're saying, what is saying this? Look here. If the minaret is like small, right, and it has a window on the right, and it has a window on the left, and while standing still, he can face his face or his head towards the right window, and he can say Hayya ala Salah without moving, that's good. And then to the left, he can say Hayya ala Falah, then that's good. But if he uh, the place is big and he need to move right to the window, then he should do it. But he shouldn't do it unnecessary. So there shouldn't be unnecessary movement. Yes, he should move to the window if it's big and he's not getting access to it. That's what he's saying. See, وَإِنِ اسْتَدَارَ فِي صَوْمَتِي فَحَسَنٌ. If he moves in there, you can say the minaret or the place of azan, and it will be good. And here he's saying, وَمُرَادُهُ. So this is what is meant. إِلَّمْ يَسْتَطِعْ تحول الوجه يمينا وشمالا مع ثبات what you call minus much مع ثبات قدميه مع ثبات قدميه كما سنت بأن كان إصابة مثلا right that he must move if he is not able. Yeah, if he's not able لم يستطيع تحول الوجه of just turning his face right يمينا وشمالا مع ثباته whilst remaining firm on his place كما وسنة, that is like how it's sunnah. فإن كان الصومة متسعة uh, if the minaret is big, right? فأما من غير حاجة فلا. But if it is small and there's no need for him to move, then he shouldn't move unnecessary. He should just stay on one place and then move his face to the right, move his face to the left. You understood that? So if you don't have to move around, don't move. But just if it is big and you have to move to get access to the right, to the left, then you will do that. Anyway, this may be not so applicable today to us because obviously we have microphones, so you obviously will face your face or your mouth to the microphone, etc. So just refer to more in previous time that if you got access to the window without moving, then don't move. But if you need to move, then you can move so that people will hear what you are saying, right? So you got it. ويحول وجهه للصلاة والفلاح يمنة ويسرة لأنه خطاب للقوم فيواجم, so you will face them. وإن استدار في صومته حسن, if he just moves there, it will be okay. That is إن لم يستطع طول. That is, so it will be okay to move. This is when he's unable to remain firm on his place, right? Remember, when he's unable to remain. Yes, if he can remain firm on his place, then he must remain firm. You got it? How much is there? Mark, what you saying? That's what they're saying here. They're saying that if the minaret is so narrow, right, that you can face the right without moving, then you shouldn't move. But if the minaret is so broad that you need to move to go to the right window and to go to the left window, then you can move. Then it's fine to move. It's not the ideal thing, but you can move. Why you can move? Because the whole idea is to get the message out there that Salah is starting. You understood that? See, look again, see there. That's what I'm saying. وَإِنِ اسْتَدَارَ فِي صَوْمَتِهِ. What does istadara mean? Look there. Istadara means, right, to actually move. So this is the saying. If he moves fi sawmati in the minaret, it's okay, it's fine, no problem, right? And what is a surat when it's permissible? This is the surat here. That what? When can he move? Or when is it permissible? Lam yastati'. He can't just turn his face to the right and left while his feet remains firm. Right? Right? Ma'a thabati qadamay makana kama wa sunnah. Sunnah is to remain firm. Right? And when will that be? بأن كانت الصومة متسعة. When the minaret is big, so now you have to move. You understood it now? Look, you understood it? So again, I'll tell you what he's saying. That if the minaret, listen, is small and there's no need to move, then he mustn't move. He must just turn his head to the right window and turn his left head to the left window and suffice with that. But if the minaret is broad, then what must he do? Then he can move. Then he can move from window to window. When we went to Morocco, there was a masjid, there was the Jamia Masjid. It was right next to the King's Palace. So what he done is, obviously his daughters used to be in the garden and that. So he employed a blind muazzin. And we saw that minaret. The minaret doesn't have steps. It has like a ramp going in circles right to the top. So somebody would come, put a muazzin on a horse, and the horse would take him right up to the top of the minaret. You'd call out the Azan and you'd come down slowly again with the horse. Now, it's still there. Allah take you one day, inshallah, in Marrakesh. So, and you see there's a masjid there and the palace was there and there's the gardens there. And all of this is done because you see when the Muazzin goes up, you can see all over. So the Muazzin will see his daughters. So then especially created that minaret which has the like a ramp, not a staircase, and the horse used to take him up. So you'll see if you look at because Spain was because remember Islam came to Spain from Morocco, right? So a lot of the architecture in Spain also is influenced by Moroccan. That's why you see the old masjids that has been converted into churches and all that type of thing. You see that the more is the same architecture, the minarets and all are the same. So that's just an interesting anecdote there. So okay, you got that there. So see this wa muradu when is it permissible for him to move around? When is it when lam yastati, he's unable, right, tahawul al-wajhi, to just move his face, right, while remaining firm. He has to move, right? Okay, carry on, read the next hadith, inshallah. Right. Then it's saying, وَالْأَفْضَلْ لِلْمُؤَذِّنِ أَن يَجْعَلَ إِصْبَعَيْهِ فِي أُذُنَيْهِ. It is more better that the muazzin, he places his fingers in his ears. I don't know if you ever noticed this. Sometimes you see when somebody got like me, now I got his earphones on me, right? And you speak to that person, he speaks louder. Why? Because normally you amplify your voice according to what you can hear. So because you can't hear your voice, you think the other person also can't hear you. Your mukhatab, the person you're addressing, like the person you speaking, you address, you speak louder because you can't hear. You think he also can't hear, so now you speak louder. That's a natural fitrat of insan. So same thing here. When the muazzin puts his fingers in his ear, he think he's going soft, so he goes louder and louder and louder. And also, that's the whole idea that the azan must be very loud so that people can hear. The more people can hear, the better they can come to salah. So, well, afdal. So here they can show you. He's saying afdal. It shows you it's not a very emphasized sunnah according to what Bidai is saying. It's better. والأفضل للمؤذن أن يجعل إصبعيه في أذنيه. It is more virtuous for the muazzin that he place his fingers in his ears, right? And what's the proof? بذلك أمر النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم بلالا. What that placing the fingers in the ears, Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam advised and he instructed as Bilal. ولأن أبلغ في الإعلام, it is more conveying in the information. That is a literal translation. Ablag means it will be more conveying. In other words, it will be louder. وَإِن لَمْ يَفْعَلْ فَحَسَنٌ. But if a person don't do this, he doesn't put his fingers, it's also okay. It's not like a very emphasized sunnah, right? لأنه ليست بسنة أصلية. It is not part of the actual sunnah. It is, although it has been advised by Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, but it's the whole idea is just to be louder, to be louder. Okay, these are right. So tasweeb, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, tasweeb means to repeat something. What it means? To repeat something. So what they're saying here, before we look at the kitab, what they're saying is at the time of Fajr, at the time of Fajr, to remind people after the Azan that Salah is starting, it is good. Like you know in the Darul Ulum, whatever. You slept in the Darul Ulum ever, never? You slept in the Darul Ulum ever? You know, after the Azan, the Nazim comes and he knocks. Because the guys are still sleeping. You know, in the Darum, the guys, they sleep late, they sit and talk till late. So he's saying, what does weebu? So you can say, you can translate tasweeb as a repeat or a reminder. Fil Fajri, in the Fajr Salah, right? How you remind him? Hayya, Hayya. Hayya is, remember, it's a small af'al, it's a ism that comes in the middle. Come, Hayya ala salat, come for salat. Hayya ala falah, come to success. So to remind him, marrataini, and for a second time after the actual azan, bain al-azani wal-iqamati, between the azan and the iqamah, hasanun. It is good. It's not a bad thing. We won't say it is a bid'ah sayyah. It's an innovation. It is something new. It's not like it wasn't the time of Nabi Sallallahu. And so it is a innovation, but a good innovation that the Ummah has accepted, right? This is a hasanun. If you look in the time of Nabi Sallallahu, what was the tasweeb? It was what Hazrat Bilal said. Remember when Nabi Sallallahu came to when Bilal came to Nabi Sallam's room, Nabi Sallam was still sleeping and he said, come, hayya ala salah. So Aisha Siddiqa said, Nabi Sallam is resting. So then Nabi Sallallahu Aisha said, put us in azan. It's such beautiful words, such lovely words. As-salatu khayru min al-nawm. That salat is better than sleep. Put it in the azan, right? So that is also a tasweeb, but that was the one that was, which you say, instituted in the time of Nabi Sallallahu. Here we're speaking more about the tasweeb that came later on, right? So they're saying, why is it good to remind a person after the azan is called out, at the time, particularly at the time of Fajr? Why? Because لأنه, right, is normally people are negligent at that time, they're sleeping. لأنه وقت نوم is a time of sleep, وغفلة and negligence, right? وكره في سائر الصلوات, but it is makruh to do it in other salats. Why? Because there's no need to do it. Why innovate something in deen when there's no need for it really? وكره في سائر الصلوات, it is makruh in the other salawat. Carry on reading. You got إلى الإعلام بعد الإعلام. Okay, that makes me sense. Jazakallah. It's not in my kitab. Let me write it there. It's in your kitab also. Yeah. I was explaining to him, you see this book here, it's a new release. It is the most authentic of the Hidayah Sharif. The author that authored the Said Bagdash is a living. He took over 40 manuscripts when he authored this here. So when there's a contradiction, we always go with this one here. One day I'll explain to you again why you have differing manuscripts. I explained to them before, but I'll explain to you another time, inshallah, unless maybe you've come across it. So without a doubt, you say this kitab that he has is the most authentic version. That's why whenever he says something, I'll change my kitab according to that. 40 manuscripts was taken in the preparation of this. So, okay. وَمَعْنَا الْأَوْدُ فِي الْإِعْلَامِ بَعْدَ الْإِعْلَامِ. The meaning is al-awdu, to once again, al-awdu filam, to repeat after the original, to repeat informing ba'd al-a'lami, after he's informed for the one time, وَهُوَ عَلَى حَسْبِ مَا تَعَارَفُوا, and it is according to how they know it. In other words, this is how they know it, how it was being done throughout the ages. That's why, remember, Ibn Mas'ud radiallahu anhu said, مَا رَأَى الْمُسْلِمُونَ حَسَنْ فَهُوَ عِنْدَ اللَّهِ حَسَنْ. That which the good, pious Muslims of this ummah, they saw it to be a good thing, then by Allah Ta'ala is also a good thing. So here the pious Muslims, not the invaders, not the fustaq, not the fujjar, not the ahlul hawa, not the people of bid'at, etc. They considered this to be a good thing. So we will also consider it to be a good thing, right? Allah Hajj, you carry on. وهذا التجويب أحدثه علماء الكوفة بعد الصحابة رضي الله عنهم لتغير أحوال الناس. Yeah, لتغير أحوال الناس. So وهذا, this tasweeb, informing after informing, right? أحدثه علماء الكوفة. The ulama of Kufa instituted it بعد عهد الصحابة, after the Sahaba. And why? لتغير أهوال الناس, because of the change in the condition of people. People became more lazy, more negligent, right? They became more lazy, more negligent with regards to the salat. So they found a need to, like how I told you, in the Darul Ulum, the students, they lazy to come to the masjid. They talk till late at night. So now you have the Nazim Sahab, come knock them, come for salah, something like that, right? Right. وَخَصُّ الْفَجْرَ بِهِ لِمَا ذَكَرْنَا. Okay, so two things they're telling you. Why did the ulama institute this? One is because people became lazy, right? That's the first thing. And the second thing is, we mentioned earlier, Fajr is a time of naum, Fajr is a time of ghaflat. So particular, وَخَصُّ الْفَجْرَ بِهِ لِمَا ذَكَرْنَا, يعني لأن وقت النوم ووقت الغفلة. Carry on. Diniyati. So this is, remember I told you before, when we speak about mutaqaddimun, remember this will help you. When we speak about mutaqaddimun, generally it referred to the ulama of the first 3 centuries. And when we speak about mutaakhirin after the first 3 centuries, whoever comes after that. So if you look at the mutaqaddimun, they stopped. They said, look here, we only do it for Fajr because there's a need for it. We're not going to introduce something into Deen which is not necessary. So Mutaakhirun refer to those people who came afterwards. So wal Mutaakhiruna, the latter ulama, istahsanuhu. They consider it good fi salawati kulliha. In the salat, all of it, right? Why? So that's not only Fajr, Zuhr, Asr, Maghrib, li dhuhuri tawani, because of the manifestation tawani, you can say, of negligence fil umuri diniyati, with regards to matters of deen. So as we were going away, further away and further away from the time of nubuwwat, people became more negligent, they became more lazy with regards to deen. So now there was a need that for other salawat as well, after the adhan, they must be reminded, come brothers, like I also, by the ishtima, by the ishtima, when after the azan, you have the guy saying, brothers, come make wudu, come get ready for salah, right? Carry on.
قال وقال ابن يوسف رحمه الله لا أرى بأسا بأن يقول المؤذن عند باب الأمير في الصلوات كلها السلام عليك أيها الأمير ورحمة الله وبركاته حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح الصلاة يرحمك الله.
Interesting here. But Imam Yusuf says, I'll explain to you first. He says, look here, the Khalifa, the Amir, like how we have, like, or the mayor, whatever, he's normally very, very busy seeing to the matters of the Muslimin, arranging for their things, etc. So sometimes he gets very occupied. So I don't see a problem that you have a designated person coming to him and reminding him, say, come, it's Salat time now, come for Salat, right? So because after all, he's serving the Muslims, you understood? So you see, so Qala Abu Yusuf, لا أرى بأسا, I don't see a problem. أن يقول المؤذن, that the muazzin must go specially, besides the azan, he must go lil amiri. He must go to the amir for fi salati kulli, fi salawati kulli, for all the salat. He say, Assalamu alayka ya amir, ya ayyuha al-amir, that peace be upon you, our leader, our khalifa, wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and may the mercy of Allah Ta'ala and His blessings be upon you. Hayya ala salat, hayya ala salat, come for salat, hayya ala al-falah, come to success. And he said, as-salatu yarhamukallah. I think also they, in the haram, what they do before janazah, salatul janaiz yarhamukumullah, yarhamukumullah. They say, right? So they say, so you make it right? Right? Okay, we stop there. We'll continue tomorrow. That was Imam Yusuf's opinion. We're going to discuss Imam Muhammad's opinion about the same thing tomorrow, inshallah. Bas subhanallah wa bihamdihi.